Hello, sweet friends. It's Sarah at Crochet with Coffee, and thank you so much for joining me for another WIP Wednesday. So we are on week 8 of our mystery picks for our Persian tile blanket, and I just want to go over the inventory of what we currently have and what our plans are moving forward for the next few weeks. So I have all 4 of our quarter squares. These are all for the corners of our blanket. And then I have all of our half squares. These half squares go all the way around the outside of the blanket. So I've got 12 of these shapes, so half squares. And then we have 7 of our tiles. So we've got 7 of these. What the plan is going to be is to complete this blanket by the end of the month. So to do that, we have to do a little bit different dispersing of the octagons and the squares throughout the month than what we have been doing, because we've been doing an octagon and then the equivalent of a full square. And to continue doing that would mean we still have to make 9 octagons and 12 squares. So that would be quite a few weeks to continue doing the same route that we have been going. Plus we have our border. So what we are going to be doing this week, we are going to be making all of our squares. So we have 12 squares that are going to be going in the center of the blanket. So we need 12 squares. Then the following weeks, we need to make 3 octagons for 3 weeks in a row. And then we have to do our border. So to complete that this month, that is what we're going to have to do. So we are going to dive in. I'm going to pick the colors for our squares this week, and we are going to get all of those done. It'll probably take between today and tomorrow, so get ready for a 2-day episode, and we are going to get started on our picks for that. Once we start our squares, start crocheting our squares, I'll tell you what my thought is for after this blanket is complete, and talk about what we're planning on doing for Wednesdays after our blanket is complete. So to make sure that we're tracking our squares correctly, I have all of our numbers listed here. So I've got 1 through 4, 5 through 8, 9 through 12. So we are going to track that. I do have to pick up my daughter from school shortly, so I don't have a lot of time today. And that's why we're going to do all of our picks now, and then I can work on them throughout the day, get them done, completed tomorrow, maybe the outside done tomorrow. And then tomorrow I have a day packed. I have a girls' day with one of my friends I haven't seen in a while, so I'm going to be spending some time with her. So we're just going to take this along for a 2-day session of getting 12 of these granny squares done. So let's do our first pick. And I've also realized the tallies that I'm doing on the back have not been counted accurately one bit. So those will get tallied up at the end of the session of us completing our tiles and squares and everything. And I'll make sure that those get tallied up correctly, because right now I'm just like, I know they're messed up. Why bother marking them at this point? We'll do them another time. Okay, so first square. Enough chatting, right? First square. Why am I looking? All right, first square is going to be mustard, ivory, wine, and rust. Colors back in. We're doing our square number 2. Wine, rust, toffee, and ivory. And back in number 3, square number 3 is starting with rust, toffee, ivory, chocolate brown. I like that one. It's probably going to be a favorite. All right, colors back in. We're picking for square number 4. ivory, chocolate brown, yellow or mustard, and rust. That is another one that will probably be a favorite. Square number 5. Mustard, ivory, wine, chocolate brown. This is 6, number 6. Mustard. There's a lot that are starting in mustard. Toffee, ivory, chocolate brown. Number 7. 7 starts with toffee, ivory, mustard, chocolate brown. Chocolate brown. Let's see. Nope, rust. I'm good with that one too. I like that one. Number 8. Rust, ivory, mustard, chocolate brown. Square 9. Wine, toffee, chocolate brown. I want mustard yellow, ivory. My powers aren't working today. My guessing powers are off today. I was on a roll for a while. All right, colors going back in. We are doing it. Square number 10. Toffee, wine, chocolate brown. I want mustard. Mustard yellow again. I got it this time. Okay, so that one was that was pretty much the same colors as number 9, different order. But I got my mustard yellow this time instead of the ivory. Number 11. Rust, wine, mustard. Ooh, that's a pretty one. That'll be very fall. I mean, they all are. Ivory. All right, last square. See what we get. Ivory, wine, mustard, rust. Okay, let's get started on our colors. And we'll go off of our chart so we know which squares we're doing. Actually, should I work them all up separately? I'm going to work all the centers first. I'm going to mix it up a little bit. Mix it up. And we're going to work on all the centers first. I like that. That's the way I typically do things. So this will actually be a really nice mix-up. And I'm going to change it up a little bit and actually use my granny square technique. I'm still going to do the same amount of chains in the corners because we need them to still match what I've currently done. But I'm going to do the style that I do instead of the instructions that it says, because it ends up being the same thing. I just like the way it joins better. For me personally, is what I do is in the pattern, it has you chain 3 in place of a double crochet. And what I like to do is chain 3 for the double crochet, but then also include the number of chains that you do for the corner. So like this one is a chain 3 corner space, and I like to do chain 2 for a corner space. So for mine, it would be a double crochet with a chain 2 corner space. So that would be a chain 5 that I would start with. And I like to do it differently. Although look at how this is looking. I don't like the way that circle is. So I'm going to redo this and do a magic circle for the center and do my usual technique of chaining 3 for the first double crochet and then chaining the amount for the corners. So with this one, it's going to be 6 chains. Typically mine would be 5, but because this pattern wants a larger corner, I'm just going to make sure that I follow that and chain 6 instead of the 5 that I usually do. Then I'll show you how this is looking. I love a magic ring for the center, and I never have a problem with mine because I do a 2-loop magic ring for my center, and it does not come undone because I weave in the ends as well. But that is what it actually looks like when I do it. So that this is, you can see here, this is the chain 3, and in the pattern it wants you to do the chain 3 here and then work your 2 doubles and then go around and then chain 3 and attach there. But what I like to do is I do my last 2 doubles here and then I slip stitch right into that whole corner chain. So I like the way that looks. It works really well for me. And I also don't seem to have any, like when I do big squares, I don't seem to have any shifting of my granny squares. And I don't flip between rows either. So I don't know if that has something to do with it, but I never have a shifting like spiral issue with larger granny squares. I know some people have mentioned that they struggle with theirs doing that, and then turning each row, you know, to work on the back side and the front side helps them with that. But I have not had an issue, and that's typically how I do my granny squares, so I wonder if maybe that's one of the reasons. So while I work up all of these centers, I figured I would chat with you guys about what our future Wednesday plans are going to be. I was originally going to have this whole series of the mystery pick for the Persian tile blanket. I was going to have that be something that went over like 17 weeks. And I've decided that that's a little too long. I had the thoughts that that could be too long, but I just decided to roll with it because I didn't have any other plans. Since I was chatting with you guys, was it a couple Wednesdays ago, about thinking about doing lives, what my thinking is I have a ton of scraps that I would like to make into some type of a granny something. I don't know if it's going to be a hexagon granny cardigan or if it's going to be a granny blanket or something, but the basic granny stitch is what I'm going to plan on doing for this next WIP. So for Wednesday, to do something new after the Persian tile series is done for our mystery picks, I was thinking of doing something with my scraps because I've got a lot of scraps. Let me show you what I've got. So I do have the ones behind me up here. There's some that are bright colors and some that are like earthy tones, like neutral earthy. And then I have these here. This is a crocheted kitty. So I've got this basket of scraps, and it's really just like what was left of a skein, so they're a little bit bigger, but this was from my last group of scraps that I never ended up finishing, and so is this red one. I didn't end up finishing that from when I did the scrap blanket tutorial. I'll put that in the description. It's 3 granny squares and you attach them as you go. It's a beautiful blanket. I absolutely love it. Then I have all of these smaller scraps that I have accumulated. And so both of these plus what's up there on those 2 baskets, you can't see the taller one, but they're both full. So what I'm thinking would be really fun on Wednesdays after we get this Persian tile blanket done this month. So I'm going to finish the Persian tile blanket in April. So in May, what I was thinking we could do is start doing lives on Wednesday, and we can do mystery picks with our scraps for a granny project of some sort, because that one is easiest for me to crochet and chat as we visit, and I don't need to look at it a whole lot while I'm doing it. So that makes it a little bit easier to not have to think either and count and all that, because I don't want to be trying to think of all that stuff while I'm trying to sit and chat with you guys and read the chat and everything else that's going on when we're live. So I would love to know what your vote is as far as that goes. If we want to do a hexagon cardigan and we could like kind of do it together. I know that on Monday I talked about doing a tutorial for a hexagon cardigan, and you know, maybe we could do something like that and crochet a scrap hexagon cardigan on Wednesdays and do that live. And then I can just show you what exactly I'm doing while I create it, because it's very, very simple. There's not a lot of instruction to it. Every creator has a different technique of how they either do the sleeves or they extend the base of the cardigan to make it longer, extend the sleeves, or how they join it, how they do the neckline, how they do the trim and stuff like that. So, you know, everybody does things differently. But I was thinking that maybe that would be a really fun project to do on Wednesdays on our lives, because I would love to do lives with you guys. And the times that I'm thinking would be Wednesday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, because I live in Florida. So 11 o'clock would work really well for me. And, you know, when the family is either away at work or my daughter's at school, and then I would plan to do about an hour for our live. And, you know, come and go as you'd like. You could watch the replay if you want to. If lives aren't your thing and replays aren't your thing, then I totally understand that. We're still going to do our Mondays and Friday episodes the same way. But I figured since our Wednesdays are just kind of random picks and sitting and chatting anyways, that would be a really good fit for our lives. So I'm going to continue doing my centers, but I would love to hear your thoughts on the lives and things like that. And if you guys like the idea of doing a hexagon cardigan together, or like a scrap blanket together, or, you know, whatever. I love the idea of doing like larger granny squares and putting them in a blanket and doing them as tiles, but it will end up being a scrap project, granny square style stitch, you know, you get the idea. But that's the criteria that I'm setting for myself, because I know that I can function better in chatting if I just have a typical granny square going and nothing too busy and, you know, needing attention. Right now I have center number 1, center number 2, center number 3, and center number 4. So let me go and do all of these centers and we'll check back in a moment. Here's the scrap blanket I was telling you about. Hello. I love this blanket. I think this is one of my favorites. The only thing that I would change about it is having some of like that orange, the mustard yellow, orange, that's yellow. The mustard yellow in this more. There's a lot of purples and greens, which I love this green. I think it's gorgeous, and I do like that there's some variegated in here and a pop of orange. Why do I want to say orange? Red. Do I know my colors? No, I don't. But anyway, that is the blanket. that I did last time with my scraps. I do have a tutorial for it. I will put that in the description. All right, now we are going to ask Keeper of the Square Centers what we have as far as centers go. All right, we have 2 toffee centers. We have 3 mustard centers. We have 2 wine and 3 rust and 2 ivory. Do you know which one is missing? What color is missing? We're missing chocolate brown. We don't have any chocolate brown centers. So, just thought that was fun. I'm going to continue working on these, and I'm going to do the next row of our list of squares. So I have all our centers done. Now I'm going to work on the second row. And I'll be back to share with you if we have any duplicates, because this is going to be fun to see if we've got any duplicates for all of our squares. So I'll be right back and show you what we've got. So I have our second row complete. That is our stack. You notice the color that's missing of the second row? It's our mustard yellow. And I thought it was funny that the only duplicate that we had was 2 with a mustard yellow center. So I thought that was silly. But I have to take a break here. I have to go pick up my daughter from school, and then we are going to go over to the gym to do a little bit of a workout, and then my husband and I have a dinner with a couple that is getting married soon. So my husband is doing the ceremony. So we have to meet up with them tonight, and I will continue working on these either later today or tomorrow, but I'll check back in a little bit. Back from dinner and full. I was uncomfortably full. I had pizza. We went to this Greek/Italian restaurant. Yeah, it was really good. So they had pizza, and I love pizza. So that's what I got. And I am very full. Let's look at these squares. I have some fun duplicates and stuff. But first, do you see what color we are missing? Again, third row, we're still missing 1 color. How funny is that? What one is it? We are missing the rust color for this row. Funny. It's so weird. So let's look at our colors. We have this one, very unique. Very pretty. Then we have this, you know, the duplicates that we had in the last one. They matched up again. So we've got our same ones that are the same. This one didn't exactly match up, but the centers were the opposite color. This is funny, isn't it? How is this happening? All right, this one had the same 2 outer colors. And let me see, what else did we have? This one had the same 2 outer colors. This one had the same 2 outer colors. And this one's unique. So we only had 2 unique ones. The rest were all pretty much duplicates in some way. So we got that. Now I have the last row. I'm probably going to finish that and then go spend some family time with the kids and my husband, and I will most likely be back in the morning to give you a little update. Monday will be the morning. It might be after my daughter gets out of school. So I will be back at some point when the next row is done to give you an update.
modified it to be a worsted weight hat, and I knit it in single color brioche, so the flip part didn't matter because it's just going to look the same when I flip it up. I started it on March 15th and I finished it June.
Okay, so I stayed up past my bedtime. I needed to go to bed. But I did get these done with the final colors that we picked. And the only thing left to do is the border, which I will do tomorrow. I am meeting up with my friend. We're going to do a girls' day and all that stuff. But I am going to end up having some time in between dropping my daughter off and going to meet my friend. So I am going to go to a coffee shop and work on some of these things until it's time for me to go spend time with her. So the borders will get put on tomorrow, and then I will pop back in and show you the progress of that. But I just want to show you some of the things with these and the comparison of some of the similar ones. So can you see what we are missing? So we ended up not using wine or, what's the other one? Oh, wine or toffee for the outside row. Weird, right? I don't understand that. The two that had been the same for the first 3 rows ended up like that. So the outside row ended up being different. Then I had, what was my point here? These two ended up being the same colors, but different order of colors. Isn't it crazy? Just like the different order gives such a different look. It's crazy. All right, there's one more. Oh, these ended up being the same on the outside 3. So that, I think that was all of the similarities that I found in there. Tomorrow I'll go over each one of them and I'll show you which one is what number. I'll put them in order because they're all out of order right now. But this is the one I'm going to work on tomorrow, and I'll give you updates once we have them all complete. Ends will not be woven in, I can almost guarantee. We can always hope, but I don't think it's going to happen. So I'll see you tomorrow. And I wanted to share this with you. This is a hook that I found on Amazon, and I never use plastic because I really feel like plastic is very flimsy to me. But I saw this handle and I really wanted it because look at it's squishy. Isn't that cool? It's like a gel type thing. And I wanted it, but then I saw that the interchangeable hooks comes with that. And it's like, it comes with some cute little things in the bottom. So it comes with the hooks, and then it comes with all this cool stuff in the bottom. Stitch markers, measuring tape. You can never have too many of those. Little scissor things. Those. And this. So that's cool. Oh, and it has a plastic yarn needle. So really cute little kit. I'll put this in the Amazon storefront. That's where I got it. But I, like I said, don't typically use plastic hooks because I feel like they're flimsy. But this one actually, flimsy, and you know, I feel like the yarn always squeaks on it, and I just don't like that. So this one did not squeak for me at all. It felt like smooth like a metal hook. I didn't really feel a difference. I like the hook, the squishy gel hook handle, and it felt good in my hand. And the hook did not like pull. I wasn't doing any like tugging on the stitches or anything, but the hook never popped out at all. So it's in there pretty secure. And it pops out like that. It's got that little groove there, and that pops into the groove in there. So it seemed to work really well. It goes from sizes 10 millimeter down to a 4 millimeter. And yeah, I so far really like it. I did it for all the last rows of these squares I use this for, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a nice outcome, and it felt good to use, and I did not dislike it like I typically do for plastic hooks. So I'd say this is a good one. I like it. Never thought I would ever say that about a plastic hook, but I wanted to try it because the handle is cool. Now, I will see you tomorrow. I'm gonna go to bed. All right, I have to finish this off with saying I am disappointed by the outcome of what I got done. But I'm going to show you what I have accomplished and what we finished and what we didn't finish. So I'm going to do the squares in order of how we picked them. We'll go 1 through 12 so that I can share that with you. So first off, visit with my friend went great. We had lots of fun. We went and got our nails done. Look at that. It's so shiny. I don't know if you can you tell? They're like light colored sparkles. So got that done. I don't normally get my nails done, but we decided to do something fancy today. So that was fun. All right. Is there anything else that I was missing? I think that was it. We just have to show you these squares. So square number 1. I realized when I was doing some editing on the video that this one, the center like that, it looks like an egg, doesn't it? Like an over easy egg or something. It's funny. All right, so we've got that one, number 1. This is number 2, did not get a border. I know, there's like 5 or so that I didn't get a border on, but that's number 2. We have number 3, 4. I like that one. And you can tell I didn't do any of my ends. Didn't. What did I count? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. This one's 5. 6. 7. Partway through on that row. 8. 9. 10. 11. And 12 is pretty much the same thing, but switched up a little bit. And that's 12. So those are our squares for our Persian tile blanket. And next week we are going to be working on three of our octagons. So we're going to be doing 3 octagons for the next 3 weeks. And then after that, we're going to be doing our border colors. So stay tuned for that. And if you had fun with me today, please hit that thumbs up button. And also, if you have not already subscribed and you'd like to stick around for more yarn-related fun, you can hit that subscribe button. I post on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And as always, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope you find joy in the little things.